Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you're looking for jewelry that makes an impact on your self-care routine and your style, Empowerography would love to offer you a discount code to one of our exclusive partners, Quartz and Canary Jewelry and Wellness Company. Please use code EMPOWER15 to receive 15% off upon checkout at www.quartzandcanary.com. Quartz and Canary is truly the place where spirituality meets style. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Daniela Lombardi. She is a curve model and co-founder of Canadian Curvies, based right here in Toronto. How are you doing today, Daniela?
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and be part of the Empowerography community and agreeing to share a bit about your story and your journey with us here today. I appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure.
So let's jump right in. Daniela, you have quite the extensive resume and list of skills. You owned a floral business. You worked in the family business as an office controller for plumbing and HVAC. You're a plus size model, a huge advocate for body positivity, self-love, self-confidence. You started a movement with 3 other women called Canadian Curvies. And last but certainly not least, you are a proud mama to 3 kids. How long did you have your floral business for, and why a floral business?
You know what? I started about 20 odd years ago. I just walked into a flower shop and I'm very creative. I needed a creative outlet. And I picked a flower up and I just started working with it and I loved it.
Okay.
And I loved planning weddings, events, creating with my hands. It's my zen. Like I'll go in there and I could breathe, and it was my outlet. It was my creative outlet.
Okay. Now, as mentioned, you also worked in the family business as well. How long did you do that for?
I did it for 10 long years. How's that?
10 long years. Did you enjoy it though at all?
You know, it had its fun and it had its perks, but it was miserable for me. It sucked the life out of me, not gonna lie. It wasn't my go-to to be in, but you have to do what the family needs you. You do what you have to do, right?
Now, while you were doing that, you were working in the floral business as well? You
Correct.
Did both? Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot.
And a single mom.
Yeah. So what was the breaking point for you to finally get out of the family business? Like, why did you leave?
I left for me. I got to a point where I wasn't happy with where I was or where I was at. And I'd go every morning to that office miserable and sad. And I'd come home miserable and sad. And it was affecting my kids. And it was affecting me. And I just looked at it and I said, I can't do this. And it was very hard to step out. Like it took 2 years for me to actually leave. Because I would mention it to my brother, you know, I do want to leave. I'm going to be leaving one day. Like, get ready. Have someone take my spot. And then I guess when my father was diagnosed with lung cancer last April, May, and I just looked at it and I'm like, you know, life's so short. I'm going to be stuck here and miserable, and I can't do that to myself. Yeah. So I sped the process, and a year later I left.
Now, you had told me that you didn't get into modeling until you hit the age of 40, correct?
Correct.
Can you explain how that whole thing happened for you, how you got into it, what the process was, how it happened? I was walking on Queen Street. I popped into a plus size store, and actually 2 of my co-founders from Canadian Curvies were in the store shooting some clothes for the owner. And they asked me if I ever modeled. I said, no, why would I model for? I'm not anything to, you know, and they were like, you know, you're the perfect size. We need a size 18, 20, try it out. And I was joking around. I said, sure, call me. And later that night, the store owner called me and she said, we were serious. Would you mind? Just try shooting for once. And at that point, I was like, why? I turned 40 that year. I'm like, why not? What do I have to lose? What the hell,
and
right?
Why not? What's there to lose? So then I had a trial shoot with one of the girls that worked with her. And from there, it just blossomed into where I am today. That was my stepping stone.
Awesome. Now, what type of modeling were you doing? Fashion, lingerie, a bit of both?
I was A little bit of both. Like back then, it was more like there was not much of a plus presence in Toronto, and a lot of plus stores used local plus models to shoot their clothing. And then that was when Instagram it was easier to build your Instagram followers and your platform. And it just led to one thing to another, where I met a gentleman from Atlanta, Georgia, who had a lingerie company, and he approached me and he asked if I could shoot with him. And I said, of course, but I come with 3 girls.
Yeah.
So, so there was diversity, the different ages, etc. And we shot with him. And from there, I just overnight, it was just insane.
So your 3 friends, the 3 women that were in the store when you walked in, you guys connected immediately.
Immediately.
And you've
Catherine, Sarah, and Yolanda. Yeah.
And you've been friends ever since.
Friends, sisters, you name it.
Yeah. Now, you're a huge advocate for self-love, body positivity, and women's empowerment. Can you speak a bit about what those things mean to you on a personal level?
Well, what it means is that I've mentioned it to you before, growing up being plus my whole life, I've never had anyone to look up to. It was not, you're overweight, you got to lose your weight. And that was it. And it was very hard to grow up in a world where there was no one to look up to. And I think what I'm doing is trying to be there for that little girl or for that woman that doesn't feel that she's accepted because of her body size or her shape. And I'm not talking about even just being plus, or I have friends that are size 2 or size 4 and they're still not comfortable in their own skin.
Right.
This goes way deeper than size, way deeper than your label on your clothing. It goes, it's loving yourself. And I think a lot of us are not taught to love ourselves. And I think that's where it starts, the empowering of a woman. If a woman loves herself, she could go anywhere. She is the master commander of her ship if she has that one tool.
Yeah.
And that's what I would love to instill in women and girls. And,
Why did you decide to focus your energy and make it your mission to empower women? Did this journey obviously began with some of your own personal struggles, correct?
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about your own personal struggles? Elaborate a little bit on those.
Well, I became a single parent at the age of 31. I grew up in a very Italian conditioned household where, the woman was basically there to serve and cater and cook and clean so it was just it was not like you were able to focus on you and focus on yourself and to do the things that you wanted to do. Well, my situation, everyone's situation is differently. And why I chose to empower, because I think that it's so important. I just felt like the need to help other women. It was my calling. It was my path. I think with what I went through and being a single parent and being alone and struggling and having nobody there to say, Daniela, it's okay. You got this. Or, you know what, let's see what we could do to figure this out. There was no one there. And I don't want someone to go through what I went through and be alone.
Right.
And even if it's a stranger, or I have so many women that contact me on Facebook or Instagram saying, how do you do it? How do you have this? You seem that you have your life together. This is 44 years of the making.
Yeah.
This is the last 12 years of me struggling and pushing through and having the women in my life, such as Sarah, Catherine, and Yolanda, and other women empowering me. I am where I'm at because of them. And this is why I do what I do, because that little bit of encouragement will help somebody, even if it's minuscule or a little bit of word of encouragement. It's going to open up a window. It's going to open up a door. It's going to brighten up someone's day where, someone telling me my husband left me, it's the end of the world. No, it's not, sweetheart. This is just the beginning. Or I put on so much weight, I can't, and what's stopping you? Your weight? Like, this is what I do. I do this because I think that we're so conditioned to be negative in a sense that something bad happens to us, such as of a divorce or weight gain it just impacts our whole life. It doesn't impact your life. We just got to choose to cope with it differently and move forward.
Right. Did you deal with a lot of bullying and things like that because of your weight? All my life. From when you were a child?
From when I was a child.
Wow.
However, I did have important men in my life, like my grandfather and my dad. They've always I've always heard the word beautiful. You're beautiful. I've never heard, well, my grandfather used to call me chubby, not because I was chubby, that he made fun of me that I was chubby. He called me chubby because he loved, back then, like, to be a little bit of meteor. It was, to him, it was like everything for him.
Right.
And that was my nickname. So I never, people call me that, I never affiliated that with bullying. I just smile because I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But even up until this day, I get bullied. I did an article, we did an article for Yahoo a couple of years back, and the comments alone, we were told never read your comments. Do not read your comments in articles. But of course, you're curious to see what people are saying, It is the worst thing. Like, I've had my friends who are grown men just look at me and cry reading these comments because they can't even believe another human being would even say these things.
Right.
About someone's weight, someone's structure, someone's, it's, I don't know. Some people really are not happy with themselves, that they have to spew out this stuff. And that's the way I look at it. Like, this person must be really sad. They must be going through something that they have to hate on a woman.
Yes.
Or a man because of their size.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I did lose weight since I started modeling. I've lost over 100 pounds. I'm still curved. I'm still considered curved. I'm still considered plus. Then I get into a different type of bullying.
A different type of bullying, meaning?
Where, why did you lose the weight? You don't want to be plus. You don't want to be. No, I had to lose weight because this is a choice that I made for my health.
You've got to be kidding. You're getting bullied for that?
I've lost about maybe 4,000 followers because, and the hate mail that I get, I can't believe you lost weight. Now you're plain Jane right now. I'm plain. Okay. Or I have women saying, I thought you were one of us. I am one of you. Like, this is where my platform, we're all women. It doesn't matter what
That's
size,
right. That's what I was
color,
going to say.
What age.
Yeah. How can someone say that? I thought you were one of us. You are. You're a woman.
You're more beautiful back. I'm sweetheart. I could be beautiful with a bag over my head. Like, don't. My size does not define me. My sex does not define me. My age. I'm 44 years old doing this. My age doesn't define me. And for someone to be that shallow, if I call it shallow, to hate on someone because they choose a different path on their weight, or it's insane. Like, it's just, a woman you can do no wrong or no right. Either you're too thin, you're too fat, you're too this, which I hate the word fat. That terminology, I hate it. But there's always that constant battle with society of how a woman should look. A woman should look like a woman. And that's
that's it. That's right. That's unbelievable.
All.
You're getting bullied because you lost weight because you wanted to do that. So
the same guy that's probably saying to me, "Oh, you're going to die of diabetes because you're overweight," is probably, well, why are you losing the weight now?
So what are the parameters for someone to be considered plus size? Because you said you still consider yourself plus size. So
I think size 8, believe it or not, size 8 and up is considered curve or plus, which is,
Again, why does size define who we are? It shouldn't matter at all. There shouldn't be these labels.
No, even height. For 4 years, I was always afraid to go into a model agency because I'm like, I'm 5'7". Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. But B&M, who is my agency, they're very diverse in all their models that they cast. And that was my one concern. And she's like, "No, you're good. Don't worry. Don't worry." But when I set up with all these models, I'm like the shortest one of the group. But it's all good.
What was the breaking point or light bulb moment for you with your own personal story and struggles, where you said to yourself, "Okay, that's it. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I am going to rise up and just be me"?
I've had a few aha moments. I think the first one was when I decided to leave my husband. He had an affair on me, and he was destroying me in the process because of his guilt. He was hating on me because he couldn't do what he wanted to do. And I woke up one morning. It was the weekend after my twin's birthday, and I said, "No more. I deserve better." And I think it was one of the hardest but easiest decisions of my life, because I deserve better. I was not going to live in the shadow, and I was not going to be treated poorly because of someone else's decision. And, and it was hard, very hard. I struggled many years being a single parent and trying to support my children and support myself, etc. But I think the latest aha moment was when my father was diagnosed with cancer. I was with him, with his oncologist and my mom. And when the sweetest doctor comes in, and she just had tears in her eyes, and she said, "Mr. Lombardi, there's nothing we could do." And I just looked at my dad, and I was just, I questioned, 72 years old, which is very young still.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, did he live his life? Was he happy? Was he content? Did he do what he wanted to do? And my father lived his life. My father loved his life. He sacrificed. He was a hard worker, but he lived his life and he loved his life. Where was I at his age at 44? He was doing what he wanted to do. And I was like, and it was the weekend of my birthday, and I was turning 40. I was turning 43 actually. And I was like, did I do what I wanted to do? Am I still stuck in the office? Am I still hating what I wake up in the morning and miserable? And that was even with my weight. Like I've struggled with my weight my whole life. What are you going to do to change it? What are you going to do to live a life that that you wake up every morning and you're happy, or you leave your legacy to your children? Where my mom was happy. I know my dad lived a happy life, and he lived a good life. It was hard and he had struggles, but he lived a good life. I want that for my kids. When the day, God forbid, I go, my mom was happy. She lived a good life. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And that's when the light bulb turned for me.
Okay. Now, how have all of these experiences helped shape the Daniela you are today, do you think?
Oh my goodness. They all took a part in it. I think every struggle, every hardship, every triumph is the reason why I'm here today. If I had an easy life, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Right.
If I coasted through life with nothing to worry about or stress about, even as a parent, I think co-parenting is fun, like you have a husband and you have your family unit. And I came from a family that I was one of the first ones to divorce in my whole entire family. We're talking two sides of long-lived marriages, and I'm the first one to say I'm getting divorced.
Yeah.
So I think I've always been a good parent, but I think I became a better parent being a single parent. I became a better person, just dealing with all the struggles that I had to deal with. You just learn and you grow and you evolve.
Yeah.
If you don't have these things to help you evolve or grow, you might as well be stuck where you are, and that's it.
Now, seemingly in the media, self-love, women's empowerment, body positivity, they seem to be buzzwords. How big of a part do you think that the media has played in this? And do you think it's taken in a direction where those words don't hold the same meaning, or they're not as powerful because of the media turning it into something that is the in thing right now? What are your thoughts?
It is the in thing right now. It is the train that's going by, but it's been a few years in the making. When I started modeling 4 years ago, it was just a tip. It was just right before it started rising. And you had companies that are companies that are starting to get into plus clothing and size inclusivity and all these things that it is a fad, but I hope that it doesn't stop. Ashely Graham was the leader of the pack where she pushed through.
Right.
And she built an empire with all these curve models, all these Instagram influencers that are pushing body positivity. There is extremists, like I've said, that there's the people think that, yes, you have to be size, you have to have that body positive, but it goes both ways. It's not just plus. And this is where I think it's lost, that there are girls that are struggling because their environment, that they think that being a little bit overweight, they're huge and they're not accepted, or, and I think that's where self-love starts. Like it doesn't matter your size. And I think that's where we have to focus on. It's not just being plus and being voluptuous and curvy and look at me and I'm in my brown underwear. And that's what drives me insane about this industry, is that to become a plus, when I started becoming a plus model, you weren't looked at unless you were in lingerie. Right. You weren't getting those insights unless you're in lingerie. So
has that started to change since
it has
you first got into it? Have you seen a very noticeable change?
Very noticeable change.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people speaking up, a lot of influencers, a lot of even men, which is incredible, a lot of companies, a lot of businesses. But, it's a movement. It's something that we're going to have to keep working on and keep instilling in little girls. So this way, in 5 years, it's not going to be a movement. It's just a way of living.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a movement. It should be, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're size 16. Okay. You're size 6. Great.
Yeah, for sure. So again, it goes back to size shouldn't matter. What difference does it make what size you are? It's
No,
just
it doesn't.
you're a woman or a man, and that's it.
And that's it. That's it. It's all inside is more important than the outside.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
Now, you and the other 3 women that got together and started up Canadian Curvies, can you tell us a bit about that and what the mission is and what you ladies do?
Well, we started about 4 years ago. We were in a place where the girls were signed models. Yolanda and I weren't signed, but we loved shooting with each other. We loved talking. We loved just discussing what was going on and helping other women and other plus models. So we decided to start Canadian Curvies. And our mission was to inspire women and young women everywhere to love their bodies just as they are, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, of course. And, we always said beauty starts within. And if you can't wear that, then it doesn't matter what size you are, you won't be able to wear it.
Yeah.
Like if you're ugly on the inside or if you're not happy on the inside, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, what size you are, it's not going to work.
So, when the 4 of you got together, what was the inspiration between who came up with the idea, or how did you ladies come up with the idea to do it?
Honestly, we were all having breakfast one morning and we just started talking about body positivity, diversity, self-love. And at that point, there was not really, it was before the Roxy, it was before a couple of things. And we just said, you know what, why don't we just combine our powers and do something? Because a lot of people enjoyed our stories and they enjoyed our pictures. They enjoyed talking to us. Instead of us being 4 different entities, why don't we just combine our powers together and be a stronger force?
Yeah.
For inspiration, for beliefs, because we all basically believe the same thing. We all had the same path, our same mission. Let's do it together. Just it's been a year where who had babies, who had COVID. So we all kind of we haven't seen each other, and we saw each other this summer, but every day it doesn't go by a day that we don't message each other. We don't, we have one topic, we discuss it, and it could be anything from a new influencer or a new clothing line. One of our followers reaching out to us saying, and we're actually trying to catch up again. We're trying to refresh our platform because it's been a while, but life gets in the way, new moms and stuff.
And so how has the journey been from when you first started to now for the 4 of you with growing the platform and the following?
It's amazing that even when we stopped for a bit, people were scared. Like, well, where did you guys go? What did you, And it's like, okay, Sarah and Catherine had babies. We had to take a break, Daniela's getting her life in order. We're all good. Don't worry. It's all good.
The platform's still there.
It's still there. It doesn't matter how. We could just post something today or say we're doing a conference and we'll have the support. The community, the positive community is very, very large, and they're loyal and they love us and they love anything that inspires them. Whatever, it's incredible. They've been an incredible group to be with.
Awesome. What would you say is one of the most important things you've learned in your life, and what was your life like before learning it, and what was your life like after learning it?
That's a good question. Jeez. I'm gonna do self-love.
Yeah.
I think you're not taught self-love. I wasn't taught self-love.
Right.
It doesn't matter how dynamic my family was and how positive or negative they were, just self-love. And that was because I really truly didn't love myself. And I think I would have made different decisions in my life, including getting married very young, including the choices that I made. I think self-love is the key to everything. And then when I've learned, and I it's not like I learned it 10 years ago or 50, I recently learned self-love. As much as confidence exudes out of me, and I could walk out with a 2-piece bikini and on the beach. I don't care what size I am, but there was that one thing missing that overshadowed me. And it's like, what's missing in this recipe? You have confidence. I'm going to be a little bit bragging. I'm awesome. You're funny. What's missing? Why is it that when there's like a little glimpse of light missing? What is it? And it was self-love. And I think once I've found that, the root of that, it changed a lot of things in my life. It changed on who I let in my life. It changed even the way I spoke to my children. It changed the way I choose men in my life. Like, I don't need a man to love me. I have to love myself first.
That's right. That's right.
And, where before it's like, I need the love. I need the love. No, you need to love yourself. You need to date yourself. You need to love yourself. And ever since I've got that aha moment, life has been different for me.
And I think we need to instill that into our kids, both boys and girls. It has to start from a very young age. Gosh. This way it becomes ingrained into who they are, and they just grow up believing it and knowing it. It makes such a difference.
I tell my twins are going to be 19 and I have a 16-year-old. Mm-hmm. And I tell them, like, they hate IKEA. I'm sorry, IKEA, but it's just that to fix it, it takes 10 hours to build a table, and it's always wobbling. So I use the IKEA metaphor to my children. I'm like, you get the IKEA table and it wobbles. They're like, yeah, it's not a good table. I'm like, no. I said, so when you have two people and they have 4 strong legs, strong heart, strong core, strong beliefs, and they love themselves, and they make a table themselves, it's not going to wobble.
Right.
But if you have broken, unloved problems, and no self-esteem, that table's going to wobble.
Yeah.
And they're just looking at me, they're like,
that's a very interesting analogy. I like that.
And it's so every time we met somebody, what kind of table is it? Is it a strong table? I sound like my father, like the old Italian, like in metaphors. But,
I love it.
It's going to be a strong table.
What's something people seem to misunderstand about you?
Oh my gosh. There's quite a few misunderstandings. They think I'm some social light butterfly that's always gallivanting, and, I don't know. I'm very unapproachable as well.
Really? People think that?
As much as I'm very approachable, people just feel like I'll be at Longo's and I have women come up to me, oh my God, you're Daniela. It's but then there's some people that think I'm just so unapproachable, and I don't get it. I'm like the kindest, warmest person you'll ever meet. Some people are like, nope. And it's which I find very odd, but.
What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
In what sense? Like
what inspires you?
What inspires me? My children inspire me.
Okay.
My children, just watching them evolve. That gives me meaning and inspiration.
Yeah.
And it could be the slightest thing, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
What would you say is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
Take care of yourself, because if you're broken, no one's going to take care of you.
Okay. How do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
Success. Let's think. I think it's when you find your purpose and what makes you happy. And I'm going to success to me, if I do something successful and my children can acknowledge it, I think I'm the queen of the world. And to me, that's the success. That's the success I look for.
Okay. Who would you say have been the 3 most influential people in your life?
My dad, my grandmother, my mom's mom, and one of my best friends, Dina.
Okay. What are you most proud of?
My children. Because no matter what I did in my life and how I did it in my life, I have 3 human beings that are so incredible, and I took part of that. And that's what I'm most proud of.
Can you share a situation that's occurred in your life that you feel provides insight as to your character, who Daniela is as a person, as a woman? Is there any particular situation that would illustrate who you are as a person?
Well, there's a story that my aunt always tells me. My aunt's from Italy, but every time she sees me, she's like, when you were a little girl, we're all outside at Dufferin and Wilson, and there was a whole bunch of kids playing, and you were like 3. And you'd go in and get 1 apple and bring 1 apple out, give it to one kid. And you didn't stop until you gave everyone an apple. And then you went in and you got yourself an apple and you sat down with them and ate the apple with all the kids. Amazing. And I always, when she says that story, it just basically, it's me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's me in a nutshell, where I will give my heart and soul, where I'll deplete myself for you. Beautiful. But I'll make sure you're okay. And then I look after myself. So that's when the saying, where you better take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself,
That's right. You cannot pour from an empty cup, right?
But that's me. That's who I am. Okay. I don't know if I'll change that, but we'll see. I'm learning every day.
What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment. It means standing strong, grounded, rooted, strength.
Okay. If you could set up a billboard anywhere, where would you put it and what would it say?
Oh, geez, where would I put it? That's a good question. Well, it would have to be somewhere, where there's bars, because I would remind women and men that they're top shelf. Mm-hmm. Like downtown, just hashtag top shelf. Remember, when you go out, when you meet somebody, when you on a date or whatever, you're top shelf. Don't forget that. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to love yourself, and you have to remind yourself that you're nothing. You're top shelf. That's all I have to say.
I love it.
I'll have tequila or margarita in my hand with this billboard, but
Yeah. What is your personal motto?
My personal breathe, pause. Breathe. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What gives you the motivation to keep going?
What gives you the motivation? I just, I have to keep going, because if I stop, I have three people that look up to me every day. And the second I stop, they realize it. The second I fall back, they realize it. So they keep me motivated to push through every day. And of course, they are my kids.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, I'm a mom at core. I love my babies.
Yes, of course. What's the most recent investment you've made into yourself?
Yoga.
Okay.
I have never done yoga in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I started this summer where I started doing Kundalini and started practicing. And it was the best investment I've done for my body, my mind, my soul. I would never be a yogini. I would like, no way. There's no way. And here I am crying because I can't even go to the studio. I'm trying to do yoga at home. It's like, this is not the same. I need my,
you need your studio.
I have the dog biting on me, the cat coming under my mat, my kids calling, like, this is supposed to be Zen. What's going on? Yeah. But that was my best investment for myself, I'd have to say.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Fierce.
Love that. That's a great description. Money or fame?
Seeing that I'm a single mom struggling, I'd say money.
Early bird or
fame.
night owl?
Oh, night owl.
Night owl. What's the one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
Love.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
That would be self-love.
Self-love. Yeah, that's an important lesson that everybody needs. I think
everybody needs that. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of souls walking on this planet not loving themselves.
That's right. If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would that song be?
Oh, geez. I Have the Tiger. Dun, 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 dun,
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Everything is going to be okay.
And lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
Jeez. I Have the Tiger then. No, I'm just kidding. What would it be? It would be, you know what? Life is so short. Don't stress on the small things because they are small. Everything's figure-outable. Everything is figure-outable.
Love it.
And I'll drop the microphone.
All right. Mic drop right there. Daniela, thank you so much for taking the time to be here and with me today and part of the Empowerography community and share a bit about your story and your journey. It's truly inspiring what you've been through and what you are doing to help women change their mindsets and way of thinking. It's incredible. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, and I appreciate you and the work you're doing.
Well, thank you for having me. This was great. And I love that you are helping women empower themselves as well. It's a great thing.
Thank you, Daniela.
It's a great thing.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest has been Daniela Lombardi. She is a curve model and co-founder of Canadian Curvies, based right here in Toronto. Thank you, Daniela. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.